you're trying to focus and take bodybuilding. I don't know how far you want to take it, but you're going to do well in your competition, and you have the potential to, I think, in the next few years, smash some big guys in bodybuilding, right? But that does need a level of focus. For example, with what you were doing in powerlifting, that needed a level of focus. Like you may be able to have done some running, but you wouldn't be running to the extent you are now. For me right now, my athletic focus is jiu-jitsu, and I just so happen to have done bodybuilding before, but I mean, I'm not planning on going on stage. I just still have that as part of my training. So I think we were talking about this, Mark. If you do have an athletic goal, it is good for you not to lose your athleticism as you go, if you choose to, go down deeper on the bodybuilding rabbit hole. You don't want to lose your athleticism, but there is going to be some give on other things as you become potentially a mass monster. Right. There's going to be some give.
And you also want to probably think about, what are some ways that you can cash in on some of this, what are some ways you have a unique way of being able to utilize your body. You've had that for a long time. You had that clearly in baseball, to where it wasn't just, you weren't just another baseball player. You were better than a lot of the other guys around you. Maybe not the best baseball player of all time, but you were better than a lot of other people. There was things athletically that you could do that other people couldn't. You came into powerlifting and you're doing those box jumps and you're going really high. You're super explosive. Who else in the group of 20, 30 guys, is that explosive? So there's something that's part of you. There's something that's in you that has some sort of extra whatever, genetics, along with hard work, along with environment, all blended together. And then what are things you can work on or improve upon as you climb the ladder in bodybuilding? Not necessarily just to monetize, but what is something that could, provide value maybe for other people, or even just continued mental growth of yourself and maturation and maturity of yourself as you go through the process. I think for me, that's where I would like to see a lot of lifters get to, a lot of people that are into bodybuilding, powerlifting, just because I know they put their head down, they concentrate really hard on it, and all that's amazing, and that's a skill set in it of itself. But I've just seen so many guys, and I think to Casey's point, break themselves because they loved it so much and it was everything to them. But then because it didn't quite work the exact way they wanted, or even when it does, they get away from it and they're just busted and they can't really figure out the next stage of their life. And that's gut wrenching to me, to see all-time world record holders that are kind of stuck. Yeah. And man, that guy he's such a special person. I would love to see him have made it a little further. And I think it's just because they submerge themselves in that kind of one bracket. So that's probably where Casey's because you should kind of put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, you should roll the fucking dice on yourself, and you should choose yourself, and you should envision yourself as being the best bodybuilder ever. You should be able to envision, I'm going to fucking be on top one day. I'm going to be able to do this, this, and this. Those are things, especially as you progress further into it. But just put in real simple terms, don't be a dummy about it. Pick up on what's going on. And you're certainly already doing that by taking notes when you're listening to podcasts, and you're paying attention to everybody around you. I think you're navigating it really well, especially for being so young. Yeah, thank you. I definitely agree with that. That's why it's a little bit of a stress for me sometimes. I'm obviously I have a bodybuilding I'm very passionate about it. I do love it. And I know it requires to be what I want to be. It requires a level of focus and attention that you can't really give anywhere else. But that's where I'm okay, I'm looking at other people okay, how can I make this work? How can I hit my goal of bodybuilding and still be going towards that every day, but on the side, maybe incorporate other things that I still like. I'm trying to figure that out, because I know with baseball,
when I was most successful at baseball, like I was in it 100%, 110%.
Yeah.
Nothing else had my attention, but that also led me to get tired of baseball and quit. So I'm like, I need to find a balance of like, you know, I still like to jump. I like to run. I like to skateboard. I like to do a bunch of things that I know because I'm extreme. Bodybuilding, I'm not going to be able to do those things because I want to be an open bodybuilder.
But
like, I want to be huge.
What's up, Power Project family? It's time to stop dressing like you're a fucking preschooler and step your game up by checking out Viore clothing. Now, I'm not one to talk. I wear a fucking pink hat that has a dog on it, but at the end of the day, at least my shirt and shorts are popping. So head to Viore because they have great stuff for your top and your bottom. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, you guys got to head over to viore.com/power project. That's VUORI.com/power project, and you guys will automatically receive 20% off your order. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
I think we should all just because we haven't seen somebody do multiple things successfully doesn't mean that it cannot be done. I think already you're winning because your mind is already like, how can I make sure I can maintain my skateboarding and maybe keep my athleticism, blah, blah. Just because other bodybuilders haven't done that, they probably weren't even thinking of keeping it. They were probably just thinking of, I want to gain as much muscle as possible. But as we know, there are things that you can incorporate into your training and practices that you can do habitually on a daily basis that as you gain more mass, that mass will not have to hinder you as far as other things that you're doing. So you might not see a lot of those examples at the top level, but that doesn't mean you can't be that guy doing that thing at the top level along with everything else. You could be that guy. You just have to incorporate shit.
Right. And I made that clear to my coach too. And he actually like, he incorporated like, it's almost, I want to say like a winning warm up. Like it's meant to just kind of get your blood flowing, heart rate up. But he used like super functional movements like med ball slams, of like side med ball slams, chest or floor presses and all that kind of stuff, battle ropes. Cause I was like, I don't want to lose that side of me that I know that's one of my strong suits is like being athletic. That's what I love. So he kind of did that as like a part of my cardio. So yeah, we kind of incorporated all of it. Like I haven't really pushed cardio at all because I'm doing the things before the training. So like everything kind of meshes together. So that's why I was super surprised. Like I was like, you know, I thought I was going to have to be doing hours of cardio like in the bodybuilding lifestyle, but I'm still doing everything I want to do. And I got to this point. So I'm like, that's why I'm a little bit more confident in like I could do all these things while still pursuing one goal. Yeah. I just got to kind of wiggle my way and figure out how to make it all balance.
I don't follow bodybuilding enough to know all the names, so I'm just going to keep saying Chris Bumstead over and over again. I don't follow.
That matters, really.
Yeah. Well, I think that the guy has like flipped bodybuilding upside down, you know, on its head pretty much. And there's been other people over the years that have kind of done this too. And there's, you know, there's classic physique because there was classic physiques. There was Steve Reeves and there was a lot of people before him. And Arnold had a particular physique and build, and people like to kind of point to that and reference that. But like someone like Chris Bumstead, I mean, I saw, you know, he dunked a basketball like not too long ago, and I don't know what other physical prowess he has. It looks like he moves big weight, and he looks like he moves well. Right. I don't know what his day-to-day looks like in terms of how his body is feeling, but I'm just going to take a total wild guess and imagine that he probably feels pretty healthy. Probably feels pretty good. You know, do the joints ache and stuff like that like a normal lifter, and is he sore? Yeah, sure. I'm sure he is. But I'm imagining that somebody like that who's kind of flipped the paradigm of bodybuilding upside down, where I know he's huge, but like he doesn't look like the IFBB pro, right? Like he doesn't look like the open division bodybuilder, correct?
It's different.
He's 50 pounds or 30 pounds difference. Like what's the body? Anybody have any idea the body weight difference? He's probably 225.
Yeah, some of the guys in the open end up being like Kenny, 250, 260. I think you probably pay more. Do you know how much he is on stage?
I know he's around 230, 240. I want to say like, he's and in off season, I'm pretty sure he's a big dude. Like
6'1", 230. So 3 to 4% body fat is like a rough Google estimate. Right?
Wait, he's 6'1", 230 on stage?
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's just wild. And I guess my point in bringing it up is like there's people that sometimes show us that not only are they different, but they are so good at being different that they show us a completely different way.
Right. Yeah.
They show you like, oh, it doesn't have to be done that way.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem like a guy, I don't know, I haven't really seen or heard him talking much about like hating himself. I haven't seen him ever smash himself in the head before he does a lift.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of crazy music and him like getting all, not that there's anything wrong with that intensity, but it seems like he comes from a positive way of doing things. And it seems like he's just trying to maximize bodybuilding. Let me have a small ass waist and some big ass muscles. And here's the way I'm going to do it.
Right. That's what I'm most attracted to is like people that do that. Like I'm
Looks
more
pretty normal right there.
Exactly.
He's pushing, but I don't even know. What are those, 180s or 200 pounds? I don't know. Pushing on some dumbbells. And yeah, his legs look big, but like he doesn't look crazy there.
Yeah.
But if you stand next to him.
Peeps, we love bringing you all this fitness information, and we also want to help bring that information to more people. So if you could help us out, hit that Rev subscribe button and then hit the notification bell, and we'll continue to bring you the heat. And I won't whisper in your ear. Talk to you guys later.